All right, Sedge, I got one for you.
Shoot.
So I noticed here you're hand planing. I don't feel any ridges, anything. Nope, not anything. But when I'm at home, I always get little tiny ridges in there. What am I doing wrong?
Well, the blade on your hand plane may not be set correct. So I'm going to step you through a quick process. It'll all start right here.
Okay.
I'm going to just take the plane blade out. Okay. Take off the cap iron. It's called a bunch of things these days. And I'm going to set it right here. And I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Sounds good.
All right. It can be a variety of things that you're getting those ridges. We call them plane tracks. Okay, but you're going to notice on this blade that I've knocked off the edges right here, or the corners.
Okay.
Okay, the way I do that is I take a piece of sandpaper and I just drag it across. After I have, and we hone this is completely flat back. Okay, we hone the back, lap the back, and then we bring this up to a razor edge. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll just go like this on that sandpaper to knock off the corners and make sure there's no burrs. That's number one. Now, setting up this blade in the hand plane. This is known as your chip breaker. And on your record that we took care of and cleaned up, I actually showed how to just make sure that that is honed, but I also took that and stropped it, okay, to make sure that is wicked smooth and that's dead flat. So the way you put on a chip breaker is just like this, and you rotate it. Now the other thing that I've seen people on hand planes do is they chuck it up here and think that's good. I usually like to bring it right down there, okay?
Oh, wow.
Because when that curl comes up, the chip breaker breaks the chip. And then what I'll do is I'll just take a screwdriver that I always have, okay, nothing fancy for me, and just tighten it up. So there's your chip breaker and it's set.
Nice.
So let's get it loaded in the hand plane.
Let's do it.
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna load the blade in with the chip breaker.
All right.
And it's gonna go down here like this. This is how I put it in, just like that, okay? And what I'm gonna do is just eyeball it really quick, like this. It's exactly where I want it. I'm gonna bring it back. You gotta be careful using your fingers like I do, because sometimes it's a very gentle rub. I'm gonna put this on and make sure that this is tensioned correctly, and it is. Okay, not too tight, not too loose, but that holds the blade in. Now, right here is your adjustment knob for forward and reverse.
Okay.
Okay, there's a little bit what we call slop in there. You'll see that in a little while. Okay, and this here is your lateral adjuster. See that?
Oh, nice.
And what that does is that takes the blade and moves it. So, one of two things when you think of plane tracks. One, you haven't knocked the corners off.
Okay.
And two, your lateral adjuster, your blade is canted ever so slightly. It's skewed. I don't know if skew's the right word, but it's just canted, so one corner is cutting more than the other.
It's off kilter.
It's off kilter. Okay. So you're gonna notice why I've been doing everything on a white backdrop. It's because I like to take it, and Chris, hopefully we can get that. Okay, I'm gonna feel it. That's perfect. But what I do is I'm just gonna grab this so we can see it. I'm looking here and here, and that white backdrop is good. I've seen people put a little pen light down here or whatever, but that looks parallel to me. I let the blade talk as I set it. Okay, now the other thing is I want to show you as I take that lateral adjuster. Look. You see it start to cant? So that will dig in more the other, because I know it's not parallel. I've always taught you, your eye really doesn't lie. So I'm just gonna bring that in like that, and that looks good to me. Okay, but the telltale sign is making a couple of swipes.
Let's do it.
So I'm gonna go over hand plane basics or operating it in another video. But what I wanna do is get in here like this. And the way I check to see if the adjustment's right, I'm going like this. Okay, I'm not cutting, right? But my pressure's here. I'm going to, this is my adjustment knob, and you see this slop in there. See it? It's really, and then all of a sudden, as I turn it, I'm gonna start to cut. Okay, so let's look at this in here. Chris, can you get up here and see this? I'm starting to cut. Okay, now I'm cutting here a little more than I'm cutting there. So now I got to take that lateral adjuster here, and it sometimes it can be counterintuitive. I'm gonna go this way with it, and you're gonna see where now I'm just about taking that faux shaving. It's a little heavy, so I'll back it off.
Okay.
And you're gonna see, Chris, get in here so we can see this. I'm gonna get a cut here, and you're gonna, usually you'll see it right in the center. And that's where you wanna come off. So then you'll start planing ever so slight, like this. Wow. You give it a try.
Okay.
Always make sure it's in the center. Yep.
Wow.
All right, so there is the proper way to set the blade inside a hand plane. And I want you to pay attention to Big D's technique of hand planing, because he's got a lot to learn. And stay tuned for another video on hand plane basics. I'm show Big D how to operate this hand plane. So as we always say,
be positive.
Stay sharp.